If you're interested in front-end development, you might be interested in the technicalities on the front end of the development, or the people that are using the systems, the front end of the systems we've developed. Let's look at the track called Browser as a Platform. Browser as a Platform track is all about how HTML5 is turning the browser into a real platform. Our speakers are from the front line of that development. Among others, we have Jake Archibald, who works on the BBC website. He'll be telling us about downloadable fonts. He has the techniques to pip up your web page with custom fonts while avoiding legal and performance pitfalls. There's Joel Webber here to tell us how Angry Birds turned into an in-browser game. I hear it was a bumpy ride, and not just for the short-tempered birds. Tuesday we have the JavaScript track, with Brian Dahl himself in Aarhus to talk about Node.js, his hip new server-side JavaScript platform that's taking the web server world by storm. If your website is data-intensive and real-time, then Node.js is the new hotness. Then there's Kasper Verdik Lund on Crankshaft, the technology that took the V8 JavaScript engine to the next performance level. V8 is behind both Node.js and the Google Chrome browser, and it was developed here in Aarhus. Wednesday we have the mobile track. This is a track packed with mobile technologies, the development space that's supplanting the desktop in the minds of the developers and users. Let me mention Mike Lee on how to debug sucky mobile apps, and later Brian Leroux will tell GOTO Aarhus about how PhoneGap and HTML5 let you make one app that works on all major mobile platforms. How about that? Portability on your portable platforms. Let's go back to the program and look at the front-end development for the users. We have a track this year called End-User Programming. End-User Programming is how to make powerful and simpler tools that enable end users to live in their data and develop their own solutions for many problems. We have Lucio Ferraro, who will teach you how a visual language can help IT become more responsive and support the tremendous demand for change in the business. In this track we also find Dan Ingles, who is the principal architect of 5 generations of Smalltalk environments. And if you're too young to know what that means, check it out and be astonished. Dan will show us Lively, which is a web-based runtime and development environment for web apps. It lets the programmers interact and modify objects that are shared, and allows for wiki-style editing, enabling the developers to collaborate and share ideas. The bottom line is that this is fun development, and possible to use for end users. In the interaction and visualization track, which is all about making large amount of data accessible, we find Tudor Gipa, who's describing his open source tool Moose. Moose visualizes software and data analysis, thereby enabling humane assessment of the system. I took a look at Moose, and much to my relief, you are still looking at the code. It is not as I had expected and feared. A lot of bubbles and lines that make sense to no one but him. The last track in the front-end development is called User Interfaces. User Interfaces is hosted by Janne Juhl Jensen. Janne Juhl Jensen holds a PhD in user interaction. She is designing the user interaction for our mobile apps at Trifork, and as you can see, she's too busy to write her own bio. But she has, for her track, invited Chris Nutter. Chris Nutter is an established usability expert with 18 years of industry experience in designing and evaluating systems that are efficient, effective, and also satisfying to use. He's been working a lot with a group of leading agile thinkers recently to really nail down how interaction design fits with modern development practices, and he thinks it will be interesting to present this to a technically focused audience and see what they say. If you're interested in front-end development or other things here, go to the registration page and register for this year's GOTO conference in Aarhus. See you there.